Hello, 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 Christine. Welcome, welcome, welcome
Mm.
to Enrichment of Mind, Body, and Soul. We haven't seen you in a while. It's been a minute.
In cosmic time, it's been a minute.
Exactly. But you know what? I can see, and I know Joan is going to say the same thing as well. We can see the evolution. It's
Thank
showing.
you.
We can see that evolution. It is showing on you.
Yes.
And this evening, we're going to dive deep into a subject area that really needs to be addressed at this point in time of the year: resilience and gratitude. But
Mm.
before we dive into this subject this evening, we just want to pause for 2 minutes and just look at your life for the 10 months that you live in 2025 and write down one thing that you're grateful for. The first thing should be your breath
Mm.
because you're still here. So let's just pause for 2 minutes and just do some self reflection, do some introspection, and write down if it's one, two, three, whatever you call to. Just write down the things that you're grateful for this 10 months that you breathe. Just write it down. So we're going to pause before we go into this segment. We're going to pause and let's just go within and write some of the things we are grateful for in 2025 so far.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Please feel free to share in the comments some of the things that you're grateful for these past 10 months that we live. Feel free to share. Share how you're feeling. Because many of us, it was an uphill battle. It was an uphill battle for this past 10 months. It was an uphill battle for many of us. But you know what? We got to be grateful for life. We have to be grateful for the experience that we go through for these past 10 months because these experiences help to unfold a lot of things in our lives. And it all depends on how we look at the experiences that unfold in our lives because there are a lot of gems that we can find in these experiences that we go through. And when we go through an experience, it builds resilience. It builds resilience when we go through these experiences. And it helps us to understand more about ourselves. We become more self-aware of our life. and we are able to see more clearly. There is more clarity. We are able to see things much more clearer. And then we are able now to sort things out. We're able to go within and sort things out, even on the outer. We're able to get rid of things that is not serving us any longer. So when we go through experiences, it's giving us a chance to really look within our lives and see the things that is working and what is not working. And this is a great time to honor your baby steps. Because at the starting of 2025, we make a list of all the goals, things we want to accomplish. And sometimes we did not get to accomplish all. But which one you accomplish or you make the start, honor those steps that you made. Honor those steps. And the beautiful thing is that we have a choice and we can revise these goals. We can revise these resolutions that we made. And we can see where we can add stuff in and what we can take out, what is not working. That's the beautiful thing that we have with life. We have this choice. This word choice is so huge because it helps us to understand that if something is not working, we can always change things up. So we have to be grateful. We have to be so grateful for the things in our lives. The things that we go through is taking us to a next chapter of our lives. Nothing happened by accident. There is nothing happened by accident in our lives. It doesn't matter how you chose to look at it, but nothing happened by accident. We need these experiences in our lives in order to move forward, in order to grow, in order to evolve. We need these experiences. So this evening, just sit back, just relax. And as you listen to Christine this evening, she's going to share her story and you can gather some tools. You use what you want and you can pass some on to someone else who you know can benefit from the tools that is going to be sharing here this evening. And don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body. And if you know someone who can benefit from this podcast this evening, we highly suggest you send them this link. Just send them the YouTube link and said, you know what? I'm listening to these three women this evening. And I encourage you to just sit back, relax, and just listen to these three women because you may gain some sort of insight this evening from this podcast. We are here to serve humanity, and we are so grateful that we can serve humanity. We are so grateful that we can do that. We are so grateful for our friends on LinkedIn. We are so grateful for all our subscribers and Soul Light and Body. We are so grateful. We are so grateful for all the people that follow us on Facebook. We are so grateful for you. We are so grateful because when we show up, we are showing up to serve you. We are showing up to serve you, and that is why we are so grateful. We are really, really grateful. This evening, I can't tell you how much we are grateful. Because when Joan and I came to the United States, we didn't know exactly where we are going. We didn't know where we are heading. We came on a blank slate. We didn't know where we were heading. But you know what? We came with an intention to serve humanity. That is what we came with. And because we came with that intention, we are able to do it. And every day, I always say, and Joan said the same thing as well, when we finish our meditation, we always say, how can we be of service to humanity? And then we ask to provide us with all the tools, necessary tools that we need in order to be of service. And we are so grateful that the divine provides all the tools for us so we can be of service to humanity. So we are so grateful. We so honored. We are so blessed that we can sit here this evening and create a space along with Tommy Thompson that we can be of service to humanity. Because every week we bring on a guest that can bless your heart with tools that you can use to incorporate in your life to move forward. And we want to say thank you to Sugar D for giving us this space here this evening. Should this broadcast is broadcast out from London. It's broadcasting till out from London. But we are so grateful to Sugar D that he gave us the space that we can serve humanity. Sugar D, we are so grateful for you. And thank you for creating enrichment of mind, body, and soul that we can broadcast to the world. Thank you. Lady J, take the mic.
I'm proud of you.
I'm so proud of you as well. I'm proud of Christine as well.
I'm proud of Christine.
Proud of both of you.
Thompson.
I'm proud of Tom as well.
I'm proud of all the guests, because seeing that you start off on that level, gratitude is a superpower.
It is.
Gratitude is a superpower. And when we can show gratitude in spaces, people, in every situation, it does something. Something happens in the moment, because it's special. It's so special. And so I just want to thank you for such a great opening.
Thank you, Joan.
My loving sister, for thanking, the subscriber, thanking everybody, thanking Sugar D. But I also want to thank all the guests. I want to also thank all the guests that take their time to believe in us, to share a space that they can be present, they can share their expertise and their vision, and contribute into a space where it can uplift, inspire, and such a great insight, perspective, bring a level of energy to the space that we can all be uplifted after the 2 hour show and beyond that, because those who catch the replay, those who watch live, but it's just an uplifting moment. It's a moment of empowerment. It's a moment of love. And so, for me and for you as well, and Christine, I know as well, we all get connected at different time in lives to people. Something ignites in a moment. And so our purpose and our passion, because of that igniting in that moment, it becomes magical. Because the level of energy, the level of vibration that we share in spaces, something happened. The light we illuminate. There's a lot of power in the moment. So when we think about this topic we're going to talk about later, as we're going to dive a little deeper through this 2 hour session, is that how do we look at gratitude? How do we look at resilience? And they both come together hand in hand. They're so interconnected because it's power in that.
Yes.
And so tonight we're going to talk a little bit deeper, but I want to talk to the audience tonight, our listeners, who's going to catch us on live and replay. Believe in yourself.
Sure.
Believe in yourself. Tap into that inner self. Tap in. Lean into your inner wisdom, because you are someone who is here and living in this world with something special, something beautiful, something unique. And when you can pause and tap in, something amazing happens. Because something emerges from inside of you that you never thought was there. When you allow the space, because there is power in pause. And writing, there is power in the pen. Write what come to mind. Write what come to mind. We always believe in our journaling. Write what come to mind. Dump thoughts out. We got several journals, because we got the one that we do our dumping, the one that we put our affirmation in, the one that our goals in. But whatever it is that worked for you, embrace the power of writing. There is power in that pen when you start writing. Because when you look back a year later, a week later, months later, you're amazed, because many things that you have written, you've already accomplished. You've already set that part. You're accomplishing. I know you talk about in your intro, Lady K, you talk about celebrate your wins, big or small.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrate those wins. Stop, pause, and celebrate those moments. You work hard to get there. Sometimes it's fear. You work through rejection. You work through doubt. There
Mm-hmm.
is where the resilience come because you emerge from that. And I also want to say, as we're going to dive deeper, it's not the fall. It's the rise that follow after that.
Right. Right.
It's not the fall. I think somebody needs to hear this tonight. It's not the fall. It's the rise that follow after that. How you rise, how you chose to look at it, how you repurpose that moment, whatever is it that you've been through. When you rise, what follows after that? What keep you steady? What is it? The question we're gonna ask you tonight, and you can write it in your journal or wherever you do your writing. What keeps you steady? What holds you up? Your faith, your family. What is it? Name it. Name what keeps you steady, that holds you up, that keeps you strong when everything is chaotic around you. When everything is chaotic around you, what keep you steady? What keep you balanced? What keep you center and hold you down that you can rise again and say, I know what is in me, I can stand strong. I know what is in me, I can do it. Your I ams is so essential because we talk about I ams here a lot. And what follow your I am is so powerful.
Mm-hmm.
What follow your I am? Are you saying to yourself that you're not enough? Are you saying to yourself that you're not capable? Well, tonight we're here to tell you you are capable. You are strong. Keep tapping in. Keep leaning into that inner wisdom. Listen to that whisper. Listen to that voice of yours. Get quiet. Embrace routines, your morning routine, so that you can be fortified. So when you step out into the real world, but whatever is it for you, you're already fortified.
Mm-hmm.
But it's meditation, whatever is it for you, because each is own is bio individuality. Fortify yourself so that you can be strong, so that you can embrace whatever you encounter during the day, and then have a nightly routine. How do you unwind? How do you unwind after you come back from everything that you've dealt with for the day, all the situations, what good or bad? How do you unwind? How do you let it go so you can have a good night rest? Good sleep is important, as we always talk about here. Nourish and nurture yourself is super important, because nourish and nurture yourself is what's going to keep you strong, because you might have all the goals and everything lined up in mind, and you are achieving it. But those that you have not achieved as yet, you want to be strong with a level of vitality, so that when it do come into you, you are strong, you can enjoy it. We want to tell you tonight, readiness and preparation is important. You got to be ready and be careful for what you ask for, because you may just get it. So you got to have readiness and you got to have preparation, so it can match that moment. When the moment arises, when the opportunity show forth itself, you're ready. You're good enough. You have the level of vitality. You're strong. You let the baggage go because you're traveling light, so that you can embrace what is coming towards you. Be rooted with self love. It's super important. Be rooted in self love. Love yourself enough so that when good love come your way, you can know how to receive it. And when it's not good, and you know that okay, this is not good for me. So love yourself. Be rooted in self love. And it's important to be rooted in self love. Why? Because when you achieve greater things in life, when greater opportunity come your way, you're rooted in self-love, so that even you get the praise and all the accolades and everything, you're not swayed, because you're grounded, you're rooted in self-love. You say thank you, you receive it with love, but you know you're strong, that you don't get that sway you, because you know who you are. That's why self-discovery is super important, because when you focus on self discovery, you know who you are, you're strong enough, you're standing tall, you're stepping higher, and then you can able to give back to the world with love, with compassion. And then as you let things go, you can let it go with grace. Because even if for some reason relationships don't work out, things don't work the way that you do, don't no bad mouthing. Show it with love, ease it with grace, because at once upon a time it served you well. It served you well. It was good for what it was, because energy move, we move into different spaces, we evolve at different times in our life. It's okay. Forgiveness is very important, because as this season coming and we moving to 2025, moving towards 2026, let things go that don't serve you well. If you got to forgive, I know it's hard sometimes. She done me wrong, he hurt me, whatever that may be for you. Find yourself in your heart to forgive, because you want to move light. You want to stay strong. You want to enjoy all the goodness that life has to offer you. So there is no blockage. There's nothing in between that you cannot step to your next. Don't let that block you. Stay strong. So tonight is a great topic we're talking about, and I just want to apologize because sometimes I know there is so many messages I don't respond to, but there's so much happening in my own season. I had to practice great resilience that has raised me to this moment too as well. So I do apologize. Karen do apologize as well. We don't get quick enough to respond, but just know in our hearts we love you and we're sending you love and we will respond to you in time. So tonight, sit back, relax. We want to thank you for supporting us. We want to show you the level of gratitude that you have supported us, and we want to support you in whatever way that may be. So sit back, relax, find a comfortable chair, because our amazing guest here tonight, Christine, who we love, is a dear sister to us. We've done so many projects together over time, and she's here tonight to drop a lot of gems. She's going to expand your toolbox, your toolkit. And so when you leave the space tonight, when you watch live or you're going to catch us on the replay, there is so much that you could take away with you so that you can move forward in 2025, ending strong, and launch into 2026 more empowered, more inspired, greater insights. And we're going to get Tommy Thompson as well, who's going to join us soon. So participate in the comments. Let's know what you're thinking. Let's know what's kept you steady during this course of the season. Your gratitude, your resilience. Participate. Let's have a discussion tonight. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Christine, my name is Lady J, holistic certified holistic health and wellness coach, and so many other things that we do that you already know as well. Those who are joining us for the first time, welcome, welcome. Christine, welcome, welcome. It's always a joy to share space with you.
Oh, listening to both of you, my heart just sings. I am so inspired. Having known you for the past 5 years and seeing your evolution has been such an inspiration for me, because you've taken an idea and through hard work, through a lot of, there may have been challenges, there may have been ups and downs, but you've created something. You have brought something so amazing to the world. So, with my gratitude, I am just saying
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
Before we came on tonight, I just pulled a couple of cards, and it was very interesting because the two cards that came to the forefront were Dream a Beautiful Dream. And I think that is such a great message when we're talking about gratitude. We have to have, and the resilience piece too, you have to have this peace within you to say, no matter what, this or something better will serve the highest purpose. And you are bringing it to life. There was a mentor who said, you are the best screenplay that will ever be written. Don't make yourself a supporting cast member. That is resilience. You need to be on point when you get up in the morning and you're doing your morning meditations. You are putting it out to the universe. Today is the day that I will be putting forth receiving back and opening the spots within you. It's not just what you say the first things in the morning, that's important. But as you're going through your day, if you catch yourself creating a negative spiral, it's good to pull yourself out of it. It's good to say to yourself, would I say this to my best friend? Would that be some piece of advice I would give my child or somebody who maybe is hurting? If you catch that self talk within you saying bad mouthing things, that's the time to really step back, pull yourself back and stop and say to yourself, I want to be loving, forgiving, gentle, and kind. That is the real juice of resilience, because you can grind all you want. And believe me, this is hustle culture. We live in hustle culture 101. It's like, I need to get this. I need to achieve this. I want this. I want the big house on the hill and the big car and the big, blah, 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 blah. You want all those things. But at the end of the day, when you go to sleep at night and you close your eyes, is that really what you wanted? If that end of life thing, when you're looking at yourself and say, hey, I got every toy on the planet, I achieved every goal I wanted to achieve, and no one is there to celebrate you, and you're missing the love and you're missing the caring and the joy and pieces, that's when you have to say to yourself, I need to bring me back into my life. And that's just, kind of thoughts that were coming to mind as both you guys were talking in the intro. It's like there are so many beautiful tools we can use, but if you use your breath, if you use the heart space, bringing yourself down from the monkey mind, as we all know, because we all love that catchphrase, what's my monkey mind telling me? And you bring yourself down into it, and you bring yourself into your heart and your power center, your gut. Your gut knows. I mean, human design tells you. Your sacral is like, uh-huh, or uh-uh. And then our mind talks us out of those things. So that's a big piece of resilience. There is a real joy to put it through the gut space or the heart space. I love this topic because as we're going through this, we're talking about it tonight. We've spent 10 months, and if you have still in your possession your 2025 goal list, how many of those things have you achieved? How many of those things have you purposefully achieved, gone out of your way every single day to try to achieve? Um, I look at my month every single month and I use my ideal 10. And it has things like family. It has things like relationship, which is the top 5. It has career. It has finance. It has health and wellness. And I give myself a rating every single month. And I look at my month before, and I look at where I am in a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, I didn't show up at all this month, or last month, I did not show up. I give myself a rating and I say, oh, okay, spirituality. How am I, or contribution? There's a big one. How am I showing up? How am I showing up in the communities that I belong to? If I'm showing up at a 2, maybe I need to re-examine. That's an important thing. But if you notice a trend where, let's say, one topic keeps showing up time and time and time again, every single month, hey, my finances are coming up again. This month, my finances came up last month. My finances came up 6 months ago. If that's the thing, it's time to sit down with yourself and have an honest discussion and say, Am I really putting the energy towards it? Am I being grateful for the abundance that I have? Am I feeling gratitude for the things that I'm doing? Or am I just phoning it in? Is that going to be a phone it in type of month? And then just kind of do that. Rate yourself. Be honest with yourself. I'm not saying be a terrible boss, but be a good boss, be a gentle boss, and say, hey, this is an area that I need to improve. And if that was on your 2025 must achieve in 12 months, and if 12 months is too short of a time frame, why not look at it as a 24-month plan or a 36-month plan? This is arbitrary. We give ourselves 12 months, okay, January 1st through December 31st, and that's a hard and fast rule. Why not say, you know what? I'm giving myself a 2-year plan, but I'm going to give myself an honest 2-year plan. I'm not going to put myself through the the hoops. I don't know if any of you have ever done this, but if you were the type of student who just basically didn't show up for class emotionally, or you were not in class and then you super crammed to get through the test at the end of the semester, were you that type of student? Tom's saying, yeah, that was me. Are
Mhm.
you continuing to do that in your life? That's a hell of a question to ask yourself. Are you still doing that? I'm open to speaking about that, because that's been a big one for me lately, is like, how much am I being honest, truthful, and
Right.
keeping myself truthful. And that ideal 10, I swear, has been a huge game changer for me.
Wow.
Hi, Russ.
You know, Christine, listening to you and just reflecting back when we met you,
Mm-hmm.
it's allowing yourself to experience the experiences, to
That's
be
a
the
good one.
person who you are right now, speaking to
Mm.
us at this moment. Because if you did not allow, you cannot be the person who is sitting in that chair and sharing your story with us.
Yeah.
I really like when you touched on breath and heart space,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Very
because
good.
the first thing, as I said in the opening statement, we really need to honor our breath,
Hmm.
because that's the first thing that we can really do, is to be grateful for that. If we
Absolutely.
can't breathe, we are nothing.
You got 3 minutes to make peace with whatever's going on. That's it.
Mhm.
3 is about all you're going to get. So,
Exactly, So we really have to take a hard look at our lives, because many times we get so clouded by a lot of things that is happening in our lives. We are processing stuff, but we are forgetting to be grateful for our breath.
mhm.
We forget to be grateful for our breath that we breathe. And I really like when you talk about heart space, because many times we allow ourselves to be carried away with a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
and carried away with a lot of stuff because we listen to a lot of stuff,
Mhm.
and then we absorb all of these things, we consume it, and it becomes a part of us. That is not you. That is not you. Because whatever you're going through at this point in time, you have all the answers within you. Believe you me, you have all the answers to what you're going through. It's an
Yeah.
experience you need to go through in order to evolve your soul. That is why you're going through that experience. You're making connections with people in order to evolve your soul. That
Yep.
is why you're going through these different experiences. And I like when you touch on human design, because human design help us to understand a lot of stuff about our lives. It helps us to go in all the areas of our lives and understand our lives with human design. So if you're really looking to touch on human design, get in contact with Christine.
I've spent 6 years of
She's going to walk
solid
you
work.
through. Yeah, she's going to
Mhm.
walk you through the human design and able to take you into all the channel areas of your life. And then you're going to come to the aha moment. Oh, this is why this is happening, or
Right.
this is why this is happening. Because when you get into the human design, you understand exactly your role here, your purpose here, all the connections that you're going to make in order to evolve your soul.
Yeah.
Right, Lady J?
Powerful, powerful, powerful. Totally agree. Christine, we just want to welcome you in this space in this moment. We just want to celebrate you. We want to give you your flowers in this moment because what you bring in tonight as we talk about the subject, gratitude and resilience, is so powerful. It's so powerful on so many levels. And when you talk about our inner dialogue, how do we talk to ourselves on a daily
Yeah.
basis? What didn't go right? What went right? And then what we telling ourselves, would we want to tell our best friend? Would that be something we would say to a friend? And that is so super important because our inner dialogue and our narrative that we carry around with us, it either pulls us down or it lifts us up. And
Mhm.
who do we want to become? How do we want people to experience us when we are not even saying the right kind of stuff that would uplift us for ourselves? Our inner dialogue is super important. And
Mm-hmm.
when you spoke about what are we choosing to, how do we choose to live life? Yeah, we have all the accolades. You want a big house, you want, and there's nothing wrong in that because we always talk about living in having abundance. But what are we choosing to focus on that what matters? Because when you spoke about at the end of life of a person, what really truly matter to you then?
True.
Do you have the right kind of love and care around you? Are you
True.
comforted in the moment? Are you
Yeah.
able to transition from this world to the universe or whatever your belief might be when you exit from here? How are you leaving?
True.
Are you comforted? Are you at peace?
True.
Are you in stillness and quiet and said, you know what? I've done well. I'm good. You know, what's happening for you? So how we live our lives is important because as we continue to live life and further down the road, when things happen, are you at peace with yourself? Are you at peace with
Absolutely.
yourself? And I'm so glad that you touched on that because when you talk about love and caring, and because those things really matters. Because at the end of the day, everything else, all the abundance, all the cars, all the houses, everything, all that's good. But how are you in those moments in your lives?
Yes.
How are
Yeah.
you in those moments when you just by yourself with your true self? Let's say your true self. How are you in those moments? Or when you're there looking at your loved one in those moments, because
Yeah.
we all are caregivers, we see, we encounter so many things with someone who is making their transition from this world
Yeah.
here forward. What are the things they're saying to us? Those are tips and lessons for us that
True.
we can take in our
So
pathways as
true.
we live this life. Look at the things they're saying. Are they looking at the cars or the houses, everything? Or they're just looking at peace, to be quiet, to move forward into next dimension with peace, with quietness, with love,
Yes.
and what they're leaving
And
behind with their family. Sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. You ladies touched into something that's one of my passion projects is, the doula work and working with people at end of life. it is not just the person who's transitioning, it's the family. Because
Sure.
there's always so much dynamic of
Mm-hmm.
unspoken things that
Correct.
happen, and they don't have, maybe you are the conduit in the bridge, and
Right.
as a end of life doula, you become that conduit or bridge to be able to allow them to
Mm-hmm.
say things. And I know, Tom, being a part of, NA and AA, they always talk about making amends. That's one of the steps. I think it's step 4, you said. Remind me, Tom.
Now, I
Can you?
I'm a member of 2 12-step programs. We're not supposed to advertise ourselves, so
Oh, sorry.
that's okay.
My bad.
It's one of our traditions, that's why
Mm-hmm.
they call it anonymous, but 2
Okay.
12-step
Well,
program.
you're not
And
anonymous anymore.
as far as making, what the 4th step is about, as you and I've talked, is taking inventory of ourselves and our
Yes.
resentments and
Mm-hmm.
finding our deep character flaws, you know, to find out what motivates us. I remember when I first did my first one, I was with a retired Army Sergeant Major, and I spent over 8 hours babbling on 2 trips when he was doing some work for the government, you know, and about hour 8 or 9, I'm blah, 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 I'm going over all this material. And he just said, "Oh, shut up. Would you just be quiet?" I said, "Oh, I've got more." "I don't care." And he was the first person, and this is going to sound silly, and I was 40 years old at the time, he was able to show me the patterns in life, the repeating errors in thinking and behavior, and I kept repeating it again and again.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would go back to substance abuse again and again, break another marriage, lose everything I gained, you know what I mean, and be back where I was. I've lost everything I owned 6 times in my life. One time when I was in a 12-step program, about 14 years in. But that was the first time, and that's one of like what you ladies talk about, life coaches and things. So often we are so bound up in our own twisted thinking that we can't see the patterns in what we do.
Conditioning.
Oh, something's flowing through me as I'm saying that. Yeah, and
Yep.
what I found I did is I put calluses on to not feel things and not think about things. I would not look at it. I would escape. I would move away. I would use a substance. I would get in a relationship, get divorced. Whatever I did, I didn't want to deal with life. And it took me many years to do that. And I'm sorry you had a simple question. But as far
Nope.
as making
Perfect.
amends, that goes to like step 8 and 9, made
Oh,
amends,
so you have
accepting.
to go a lot further deeper in. First, you got to
Hey,
take the personal inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about figuring out what your resilience is too, because you
Yes.
just basically talked about being absolutely resilient. You've lost everything, gone back
Right.
up to, lost it, came back up. And as a repeating pattern, I'm sure you probably wouldn't want to say, gee, follow that as a methodology,
Right.
hey, go back to zero and start from scratch again and again and again. But I've done that. I used to do that in a work setting. That was like my pattern. I would get someplace and then I was uncomfortable and I would blow up the job, or I would give it up because of an excuse like a family member. And then I wound up having to start again from scratch and then going back up, click, 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 click. And then I get to that point and it was like, now I'm uncomfortable. Let's just blow this puppy up again. It's like, where's the dynamite? Boom. I love the fact that being self-employed, being in the environment I am as a caretaker, I have had to have some really ugly discussions with myself and sit myself down in the chair and have those, as my father used to call them, come to Jesus talks. It's like, is this really what you want to do with your life? Is this truly how you want to be reflected in life? And I'm like, honestly, nope. Honestly, being honest, exactly. Boy, you hit the nail on the head. It's time, the brutal honesty is the first step for the heart healing. That is really the point when your heart is like, I'm hurting. I need to be held. My inner child that has been wounded through no fault of my own needs to be held. And I think there's this phrase that says, you don't necessarily control what happens to you until you turn 18 years old. People inflict whatever garbage they have on you. But the time you become an emancipated adult, hopefully at 18, but some people never quite achieve that. That's, that's the day you have to take responsibility for bringing yourself to the table and saying, yep, it's me. I am doing this to myself. And you know, uh, do I like what I see in the mirror? And that kind of goes back to that original discussion. When you have your end of life experience, are you going to look back and say, I might have done it wrong, but I did it with the best of intention and heart. I did it to the best of my ability. I really achieved what I had to achieve. That's part of this. This is all about that resilience because tomorrow when you get up, you get another opportunity. Not everybody is going to have that opportunity tomorrow morning to get up
So
and try again.
so true.
Wow.
So
Wow.
true, Christine.
That
So
that
true.
that is so true. I just want to piggyback when you said when you come emancipated as an adult after 18 and how you choose to look at it. But can you explain for someone who is looking back at themselves in this moment, especially this is topic we're talking about, and looking how do I really move beyond that moment, that all the conditioning, everything that was I was infected with, all the wrongs that has been done to me. How do you help them to look at themselves from a growth mindset set instead of a fixed
Mm,
mindset? Because you can be paralyzed with fear, you can be paralyzed with rejection, you can be paralyzed with so many things. How do you help
absolutely.
them to emancipate themselves from the feelings? Talk to us about that, please.
This is juicy. Now this is very interesting because I'm gonna pull in a little gene keys and human design into this.
Work your magic.
Bringing it in. Okay. Um, we all have that shadow side. That
Yes.
shadow is the wounded child. It's the pieces of us that didn't quite. They live in the dark. They have the shame, the victimy stuff, all those pieces. And the reason I talk about victim is shadow work is all about victimization and victim work. Um, the reason I happen to know that really well is that within my gene keys, one of my biggest gene keys has the shadow of victim. Like literally, that is the word that goes along with it. So I can fall into victim. I love the pity party. I just like, it's like eating candy if I'm in the wrong mental space for life. To move into the gift, once you come to terms and you've done work with that, and you say to yourself, victimization stops being victimization when you are ready to start rewriting and moving the story further. It's like your story can go to victim and that's where it can stop. That's a choice. But when you start rewriting the story and saying, yes, I did have these terrible things happen to me. Yes, this was, they hurt me, they wounded me, this person just destroyed me, XYZ. But the minute you put that, as we said, pen to paper, mentally, physically, I personally write notes to myself constantly and do this work every single day. As soon as you start looking at it and saying to myself, I'm journaling my question today. How do I want this to wind up? Is this the story that I want written for me? Is that the person, is that where I need to finish? How can I get to that next level? Who do I want to become? How do I want to show up? Who do I want to help? Because we talked about that too. You guys said that earlier. Who is the community that you belong to? What is the God space that you are bringing to this world? And when you start writing from that standpoint, where it's no longer I in the story, I'm wrong. This is, they hurt me, I, and you start looking at we, you start looking at the outside of where do you want to achieve, who can you bring in. When you start moving to that level and the story has potential, that pregnant possibility of a
Love
better
that.
future, that's when stuff can change. And it may not even become whatever you envisioned it to be.
Right.
But one of the things we always talk about in the spirituality that I have belonged to is this or something better. Whatever I'm writing, this or something better. Bringing it back to human design. You're a once in a lifetime cosmic event. There is nobody on the planet that is you and never will be before and never will be again. So you have magical things you're supposed to be creating from. You are things that you are supposed to be doing. And all this shadow work is set for you to do the reps to get yourself strong enough to start magically using the gifts. Because the gift, as we talk about in Gene Keys, is within the shadow. The gift is like an acorn that is trapped in that shadow shell. And as soon as you crack the shadow shell, as soon as you know, hey, I tend to do XYZ, my mechanism, which is human design, goes this way, it does these things. As soon as you get through that and you get into the gift of it, you start to become so much further aware. And the beautiful thing is you are a once in a lifetime cosmic event, but there's a world going on around you. So it's not like the day you were born, the world stopped functioning. You have to work within whatever's going on around you. So as an example, right now, this week is the week of challenges. And the week where we have to come to terms with the word purposelessness.
Mm-hmm.
And that is such an ugly shadow word. It's like, I feel purposeless. I'm afraid. I am living in a fear state. That's literally the energy that is pushing in on us. And we're saying, okay, well, what do I do with purposelessness? How do I come to terms with that?
Mm-hmm.
But me as the person driving my human design mechanism, my car, we like to call them cars, essential uniqueness. I love that. That is such a perfect word. You are essentially unique.
Yeah.
But as you're sitting there and you move forward,
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
that story is If you are in the purposelessness of the shadow, which is the energy of this week, the gift and the moving up to the God space of this is called immortality. That written on the stars thing that you are supposed to be doing. So writing into write start writing that narrative as if you're writing what you would be, as if you were immortal and you had all this magic within you, because you technically do. That's this week's energy. Next week, a completely different energy. It's the energy of truth. And guess what? Everybody's going to be dropping truth bombs all over the place. And that's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a moment where you're like, great, I need this like a hole in my head. But you do.
Yes.
That's the beauty of this. It changes every 6 days. You get a whole new quantum energy coming in. So you get a whole new vibration that you can come to and use. That's the juice.
Mm-hmm.
That's the juice to make changes.
Wow. Christine, this is evolution, Christine.
This is Christine moving into the city. Yes.
This is evolution, Christine, we're seeing here, you know. Christine, you touch on some really good points here this evening. And I like when you said pregnant with possibilities, you know,
Beautiful.
because we all are pregnant with limitless possibilities. And
Mhm.
it's time we birth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's time we stop holding ourselves back. It's time
Yeah.
that we look at ourselves as a gift to the world.
Oh,
It's time,
100%.
yeah, it's time that we dismantle these self-limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Because just look at yourself as a little child and you're growing up, right? You maybe
Mhm.
grew up in a household that a lot of things went on. You saw a lot of stuff, you know, and you embody these things. That's not part of you.
Right.
That is not part
Absolutely.
of you. You came back here with your uniqueness. That is why I really like when Charlie said essential uniqueness. You came back here with your uniqueness.
Mhm.
And beliefs, because growing up in an environment, there is a lot of beliefs you consume. You had no choice. You had no
Right.
choice because remember, you're a little child. You're growing up and you consume all of these stuff. But you remember, you come to adulthood now, and you have a choice. You can deprogram all of these beliefs because now you understand life. You come to that place of self-awareness. You could
Mhm.
dismantle. We know it's not an easy process, but you have to be willing to do it. You got to put in the work. You got to take the inspired step, the inspired action in order for you to experience the life that you came here to live. And as we said in the opening, we have to be grateful for these experiences. Do not curse your past. Your past is part of you. Your
Yeah.
past is going to help you to go to the future. Your past is a chapter of your life. You had to go through that past. Some people may not want to hear this. You chose your family. You chose all the experiences that you want to go through. All these experiences, you chose it because that is what you want to evolve the soul with. You made that conscious choice. We all did. And that's the truth. We made that conscious choice to go through all of these experiences in order to evolve the soul. The soul came here to evolve. But the thing is that we do not recognize that that is what we came here for. And many times we don't listen. We don't pay attention because many times our intuition is telling us what to do, but we're not paying attention. So this evening, you're listening to us. Just listen to what exactly we are saying, you know, and just step back, sit with yourself, sit in stillness, sit in silence, and take an introspection of your life. It's okay to ask yourself questions. What is it that I am bringing from my past? What is it that I'm living right now from my past? And how can I change it? What can I do to change my life at this point in time? We're winding down 2025. Are you going to take these things into 2026? Or are you going to sit with yourself and start to write, because there's power in writing, and start to write down the way how you're feeling. And then you ask yourself the questions, are these things for me to carry, or I should leave it here? Should I put a full stop and leave it here, or should I take it with me into 2026? This is a good time for us to do that introspection. We only got 2 more months to end out 2025. And it's a good time for us to sit with ourselves. We all are busy. We all got busy lives, but we got to find that time. We need to find that time, because you know what? This is the only life we got to carry. This is the only life we got to carry through this life. And we got to find a time that we could able to correct ourselves. And we all have that choice. So if you're listening to us this evening, we highly suggest that you sit with yourself. Whatever you're going through, whatever experience you're going through at this point in time, sit with yourself and do not curse the experience. Do not curse that experience. And another thing, if you run from the experience, you're going to run right back into it. It's going to keep running after you until you get it. That is why many times you find people keep recycling experiences all the time, because you're not willing to sit with yourself and you're not willing to acknowledge this is something you need to address within your life. So don't run from it. It's continue running after you. Right, Lady J? Christine, Tom?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's one of those people who have had, the same boyfriend or same girlfriend 5 times in a row, same exact personality, same exact problems. It's like everything's great for the first month, and then, oh my God, they're whatever, fill in the blank, a serial cheater, whatever it is. And when you finally get quiet within yourself and you start to really look at what you bring to that experience, it's like all of a sudden you start to see the pattern, and you can become, I hate to say it, but you have to become grateful for the experienced patterns, because as soon as you go, oh crap, that is me putting this into that, then all of a sudden it's like the fever dream passes. It's really interesting to watch that happen. I'm going to, if you don't mind, I'd love to use my example with myself.
Sure.
My parenting was defined and created because of my parents, the way I was parented. So I went to the exact opposite extreme, where, before helicopter moms, I was kind of a helicopter mom. I was always like involved, and I was fixing, and I was the one who was always, like I was that person. And it didn't necessarily benefit my children. They definitely they came out okay. Could they have come out better? If I had looked at my parenting skills before I became a parent, they may have had some more bumps in the road that I could have allowed them to have, that they didn't have to have 10 years after the event should have happened. It's interesting. The way I look at it from human design and gene keys, it's like we have our family cultural drama conditioning, And then we have the stuff we add to it, which is our karma piece. And as we're going through all these pieces, we have the social quotient that we learn
Right.
from. We have the emotional quotient that we learned at a certain period of time. We have the mental stuff, the physical growth piece, and then we get back to the gestational piece. We get back to what our parents brought to us, both yin and yang, male and female, to create me, Christine, you, Joan, you, Karen, and those hopes and dreams and these dynamics that happen. And it's like, multiply that out or like bring that back. It took probably 1,200 people at different iterations to create us. Just there are pieces within family dynamics. That is huge. And then we sit there and say, we're not worthy of being loved or treated kindly. It's like those people made you through a series of not random events, and how magical you truly, truly are. That's the gratitude I get up with every day and saying, my God,
Mm-hmm.
if it wasn't for somebody 300 years ago who survived the Black Plague,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have existed. I
True.
mean, the history is my joy. I love looking at history things. As a parent, I'm a parent. Yes, I'm a parent. I went through some challenging things with my kids, as every parent does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every parent goes through the phase of,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be my own person. And I will share a funny story, but not a funny story. I had gone through a very ugly divorce with my son's father, and he blamed me for a lot of things. And we went through a very rough patch. And I gave him an option. I sat him down and I said, I will give you 3 hours. 3 hours to say anything you want to me. You can scream, cry, rant, rave, tell me how horrible I am for the next 3 hours. I want you to literally say everything. I said, but after those 3 hours, I don't want to be blamed for whatever is going on. This is the time for you to do your therapy. And he took me up on it. And he said some pretty ugly things, and I had never, ever held it against him because that was his truth, and I let him speak his truth to me.
Mm-hmm. 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 Lady
Strong
J?
woman. Strong woman. Strong woman. That you let him give him the 3 hours. Say
Yeah,
whatever you have to say to me. I'm gonna sit still. I'm gonna give you space. You what you did, you facilitate the space for him
yeah,
to say whatever is on his mind, how he felt. Bring it up, dump it out,
yeah,
and let it be. Because after this moment, we are moving forward.
yeah,
We are
exactly.
moving forward. And I'm sure and be sure it brought clarity in the moment because you let him be. You honor that moment, you let it be, and you move forward. Here you are as an evolved woman speaking to us about human design and Gene's key. Here you are, sharing your
Yep,
experiences that you've been through, which is part of the evolution because as we draw from the experience, it teaches us so many things in our lives. And so we can share now in spaces and reminding those who are watching us live and catch us in the replay, what you've been through does not define you. Whatever you've been through or whatever you're going through, it's not going to define you. Because as you continue to rise in life and you emerge and adapt to different situations, and you've grown, you've expanded. And that is why mindset is super important. Because when you have a growth mindset, you can evolve easily. You could look at things from different perspective and say, accept it, this is what it is. But then I'm choosing to move forward. And if somebody may say something to you, then that doesn't represent me because that's not who I am.
True.
And so you just let it go. Yeah, you're
True.
allowed to say whatever you want to say because that's from your perspective. But that does not represent me because I know who. That's why self love is super important.
Yes.
Because when you're rooted in self love, it doesn't matter what anyone else say. You ensure and know who you are because you are rooted in self love.
Absolutely.
I
Totally
wanted,
agree.
thank you. I want to jump back and talk to some of the things you just spoke about, Christine, where you talk about shadow, the shadow work, and how to crack that code and getting into that. You talk about pregnant possibilities, but the important thing I think that what stemmed out of it just which is so many things. You talk to us about writing to yourself,
Mhm.
writing to yourself who you want to become. What do you want to see out of this situation? Writing to yourself because we have the power. It's within us. Before we try to be hard on ourselves, write it out. Who do I want to become? How do I look at the situation? What am I learning in this moment from this situation that I'm going through? Write it out. And what do I hope that to see become out of this? And that is why I think it's this Neville Goddard who talk about living from the end. Because when you can live from the end because you already know who you want to become and what you want it to look like, then you start to set the path, you start to set the tone. Who do I want to become? What do I want to represent? Who am I? What is it that you want? And then start to write it down. And this is a good time of year where we can, it's never too late to start writing.
Mhm.
It's never too late to start writing. It's never too late to change our narratives. Because now is a good time to set that tone. Be moving into Thanksgiving, focusing on our gratitude, what we have accomplished the months behind us. And where are we right now? And how do you want to set the tone to end strong? And not only ending strong, how do you want to set the tone to move forward in 2026? What are some of the things that I need to leave behind? I think you spoke about that, Lady Kay, and Christine as well, and Tom spoke earlier too. What am I choosing to leave behind that is not serving me well? What is it that that's serving me well and that I'm holding on so tight to? Because I'm afraid that letting it go, that something good is not going to come. What is it? Name it. Name whatever it is that you're holding on so tight, tightly grasping to. And you're not letting it go. Because if you just pause, take that time and let it go, there is so much beauty waiting for you. So much beauty waiting for you. But we cannot receive all the beauty if we keep holding on tight to things that doesn't serve us well. Because if it's not serving us, then it's not allowing us to grow. It's not allowing us to grow and evolve to this amazing person that we are and to become. And when you talk about changing who you are, because you said you talk about a parenting, your parenting, how they have parent you and your family, and then how you choose to parent your kids, right? And now you're looking back and you're saying, well, what can I have done better, right? And you made choices, but those are the things that has grown you to who you are today.
Mhm.
Those are the things that have shaped you as a person that we're looking at, and you're dropping all these gems in us tonight. Everything has shaped you for who you are today. Such an amazing person, and that you can come into this space tonight and just give us those level of great tips that we can move forward, moving out of 2025 and going into 26 with expanding our toolkit. That
I'd
we
like
can
to
say,
break
okay, Break
I'd
in,
like
Tom.
to
Break
break
in.
in here. I'd like, yeah, I'm
Break in.
getting a new computer. I'd like to break in here with Christina
Sure.
because um, she and I know each other's stories. And I
Mhm.
mean, we know things about each other that, except for my Diana, she's probably my best friend in the world. And here we are separated by 1,000 miles. She's a upper middle class matron in a rather
Stop
affluent
it.
community, and I'm sitting out here in hillbilly central, out in central Indiana. But and a lot of our views are very dissimilar, but yet we have found a level of mutual respect. And when one of us crosses over, we go, "Whoops," which is I do all the time. Did it
But say,
today.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, and she's
Saying I'm sorry that I said something that was hurtful. That's the friendship part. I wanted to point out one thing, Tom.
Mhm.
Um, and you said this, Lady J, every day, and Lady K, we can have a life edit. We can have a life reflection when we go to sleep that night, not saying, oh God, I did this 25 things wrong. Just say, okay, today is done. There's nothing that can be done about it.
Mhm.
How am I going to show up tomorrow?
Right.
How am I going to show up differently? Because if I show up the same way, odds are I'm getting the same result.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you pointed to, Tom. It's like
what I was
we have different thoughts.
you were talking about, the shadow work and the shadow. And I just wanted to, hey Diana.
Hey, Diana.
Hi, Diana.
Yeah. But what I wanted to say is talking about you is your childhood and I'm on the show, Diana. I'll talk to you in a minute. Okay. Sorry. Domestic issue, but your childhood, when they talk about share up till the time you were 18 was horrific and you were on a life path not unlike my own, in your middle 20s, and you made a complete break with the life you were living. And it wasn't easy. And it was sure destruction. And you knew it at the time you were there. And that's the kind of resilience that, and quite frankly, a lot of your childhood was horrific. But it's something no one looking at you today would know that because so few people that have come through some of the things you came through up to a certain point in your life 30 years ago because I'm in a place with a lot of people with substance abuse. Very few people survive and thrive as you have. And I just want to honor that so that when you speak about delving into your shadow self and overcoming these things, you do it from a place of experience and self-knowledge. This is not some stuff you came across in a book and decided this was cool. This is
Yeah.
something that you have proven on a daily basis. And quite frankly, I'm in awe of you.
Oh, thank you. The first book that I ever was recommended was a book called Courage to Heal. And it was about abuse surviving. And it was very 12 step in the way it was presented. It had a workbook. I don't remember the authors. I still retain the book to this day, but it allowed me to see that it wasn't, the abuse part of my childhood just happened, and the people who were within that environment created some dynamics of unhealedness, uh, iron, what's that? I'm not sure what that's. I'm sorry. I was looking to see if maybe somebody knew the book I was talking about. Um,
Mhm.
I will post something about it, but I think it is anybody who's had any kind of an abuse story, whether it is a sexual abuse or growing up with alcoholic family member or some kind of a physical abuse type of an environment. That is a really great book. I don't even know if it's still available to tell you the truth, but it's basically kind of helping people understand that it's something that happened. It's not something that defines you in a victim state forever. You can get beyond it. And I oddly can say now that I am grateful for every piece of the pieces of my past because it allowed me to become this person who you see
Mhm.
today. It is not something that I sit there and go, oh, but I was in that place where I was like, I would lead with that, be like, hey, do you want to hear about my victim story? Do you want to hear about my abuse story? Do you want to hear about my, this story or that story? I did that for years. And I drove people away like I literally was a leper.
Mhm.
I had the plague. I'm like, oh, let me touch you with my abuse story. And it was really weird because I wanted to connect and that connection didn't happen because I was so desperate to be held for the thing that happened. And it was like re traumatizing the traumatized person. But I was doing the traumatizing at that point. I didn't even need a secondary person to do it anymore. I didn't need an environmental experience to happen. I did it to myself. And how different I am now because I can work with somebody who's in that environment, who's gone through challenges, and say, I know it happened. It's a reality, but it does not define you. It does not define
No,
who
it
you
doesn't.
are.
Right. Right.
You
That's
know,
that's the truth.
Christine, just listening to you, it just take me back to a reflection of a book that I read a few months ago. It didn't start with you.
Mhm.
I
It's a
think I
great book.
think I think
Mhm.
everybody should read that book, boy.
Yeah, that's a really
It
great
Yes.
book
didn't start with
with
you.
you.
Because when you read that book, you really understand the things them that you really are carrying with you. It's not
Hmm.
for you to carry.
Right.
Yeah,
That is
absolutely.
why we gotta dismantle and peel back those layers because it didn't start with you.
But that is why healing is so super important as well.
Absolutely, healing is important,
It's
and
very, very important.
another thing come to mind is that we gotta forgive our parents.
Hmm.
You
100%.
gotta forgive our parents because you know what? They could only teach us what they know.
Right.
But now, because
Absolutely.
we are evolved souls, and we become awakened, we now understand what was happening in the past. They were conditioned. They
Hmm.
conditioned us. Then we condition our children. So we really got to put a full stop to that.
Right.
We got to forgive them because you know what? They only teach us what they know. They only did that. And they think that was the best way to do it.
Right.
They think it was the
Abs-
best way to do it. And another thing came to mind as what Christine was talking to is that the soul know when the experience is over.
mhm.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
soul knows when the experience is over. But many times we still want to hold on.
Right.
And that
Yeah.
is the part that many of us, anger, disappointment, rage, and depression, so many things start to happen
Hmm.
because we still want to hold on to that experience. But the soul
Yeah.
knows when that experience is finished. Because you will find yourself start to say certain things about the experience. And once you find yourself saying things that is positive now about your life, you know that experience is it's finished.
Yeah.
It's finished.
And
It's
it no
done.
longer defines you. That's the
Right.
Absolutely.
biggest thing. It doesn't define who you
Absolutely.
are. It
Absolutely.
doesn't make you better or worse. It just no longer, it's just a piece, a facet. One of the things that one of my earliest therapists had said is, you will hone this to become a beautiful diamond. But right now, it's just a shard. And it will cut you and it will hurt you and it will make you bleed and cry. And unfortunately, that's part of this. This is part of the healing process. And, and I hate to say be grateful for it, but that's part of the resilience piece we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about. It's like you're going through it. You're going through
Mm-hmm.
that whole thing. And it's like, don't wait until you have the midlife crisis to have the remembrances of the crappy childhood
Mm-hmm.
that suddenly you're like, oh, okay, I just wasted 40 years of my life. And I'm not saying wasted, but I'm just putting air quotes around it
Right.
because a lot of people feel that way. It's like,
Yes.
oh, okay, I'm at age 45, 50. I didn't do a damn thing I was supposed to. I gave my life over to everything that I didn't want. And it's like, now I'm just going to reinvent myself and completely dismantle my life. And it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Put the brakes on for a minute. If you're doing the work, it's going to hurt. It's not going to feel good. I'm not making promises that it will always feel this way, but as you're cleaning the wound, it does hurt. But
Yes.
eventually, it stops hurting so bad. And that's a lot of things. And I'm going to pull this in with grief. Oh my gosh. Remember, nobody grieves the same way, but it's like you just kind of learn new ways to be a new ways to be the real you when you're going through grief. Going through any kind of a story like an abuse story, having parents who had substance problems, alcohol problems, if there was money wounds. I mean, it could be anything. I don't care what the trauma is. The trauma is the trauma because you believe it's your trauma. It doesn't have to be terrible. It doesn't have to be life altering. It just has to feel like trauma. There's no level to say, oh, my trauma is worse than your trauma. There's no trauma parade. It's like if
True.
it hurts you, I mean, it's not like you get together in a trauma carnival and go, woo, my trauma, here, this is my balloon and blah, blah. No, no, no. It's like if it hurt, if it felt like shit to you as a kid, that's a trauma.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. So as you're going through this, that's the wound that you're supposed to work with. And as soon as you work with it and you start to come to terms with it and knit together like a bone, you start to feel better and you start to get stronger and you can walk on that bone. I'm using the metaphor because I'm surprised Tom hasn't pulled this one out, but I did have a very traumatic experience with a broken leg, and I still carry the broken leg to this day. I will have it for my whole life, but it does have a remembrance. But it was me for me to heal and me for me to get over, not anybody else. It was my work on it. So that's my resilience piece. Am I grateful? Yes, now. Back then, not so much. So it's an evolution. This is a part of an evolution of who you are. You are becoming the person you were meant to be. And that's the beautiful thing. I think as we start to do life edit towards the end of the year, that's a big one. Oh, that's good.
That's
Okay.
good. You can't heal what you are afraid to reveal. That's so right,
That's
Charlie.
that is so right.
Excuse
Bless
me.
you.
Charlie, thank you so much
Thank
for
you. I
being
needed a
here.
blessing, apparently. My soul was like, oh, God, sneeze. You need a blessing.
He is so wrong. Oh my God. You cannot heal what you're afraid to reveal. That is so,
That
so
is so
true.
true. That is so
So
true.
true.
That is a beautiful sentiment, and I'm
It
putting that
is.
on a shirt.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
stealing
true.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Because
and while Christine was, go ahead, Lady Jane.
no, you go, you go.
You know, while Christine was talking, a few things come to mind because the energy is just great here. It's just flowing, you know. And we all need to surrender. We got to come to that place and surrender, you know.
Mhm.
And when we surrender, we got to forgive ourselves. We got to forgive ourselves and we got to make peace with our past.
Yes.
We have to make peace with our past. It is very, very essential for us to surrender, to forgive ourselves, and make peace with our past. Because
Yes.
what normally happens with us is that when we're holding on to things, that energy is converted into something else. And that energy is stagnant. So if you're looking now and you're telling yourself, I really want a better life. I want great things to happen for me. You got to release those energies.
Mhm.
You have to remove those energies from your life in order to make space for the great things that you want to accomplish with your life. So it's essential that we really make peace with our past. And forgiveness is very, very important. That word, sometimes when people hear that word, they get so scared, you know?
Angry too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met a lot of people who get super angry, like, "Oh, you should forgive that person." And it's like, well, F them. They're the
Yes.
ones who did it to me. And it's like, okay. It
Yeah.
wasn't until I said, I'm I forgive you. And that's part of Ho'oponopono too. I love you.
Yes.
Please forgive me.
Forgive me.
It's asking yourself to forgive yourself because you're
Yes.
holding that. That's they gave that to you and you're still holding it. It's
Yes.
like
Mm-hmm.
if you're taking a point, it's like expecting somebody to take a poison, but you're taking it for them. The only person who's got hurt is you.
Yes.
That is, I mean, it's amazing. I used to feel that not forgiveness was like a big hot coal in my chest,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a fire. It was a fire of rage, and I don't want to say revenge, but like a virtuous fire. I was like the martyr. I wanted to literally just be, I can't tell you how long it took me to get over that. But as soon as that happened, it became such a different experience in life. I'm just saying, it's so much different. And I
Yeah.
know this wasn't exactly where you thought tonight was going to go.
No,
It's like, we're talking about being grateful. Hey, Thanksgiving's coming. Woohoo! Let's talk positive.
it's
It's
just
like, whoops,
you're
sorry. You
in the
never know
flow.
what's going to come out of my mouth.
No. You are in the flow, you're in flow state. You are in flow
Yes.
state.
Yeah.
And when you're in
Yeah.
flow state, you just let it be because somebody needs to hear exactly what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Somebody needs to hear
Absolutely.
exactly what you're saying. So when you're in flow state, you just let it flow. And
Yep.
I just want to jump in here and speak about that is why intentionality is so important.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Intentionality is so important, knowing what you want.
Mm,
Because when you know what you want, then you can move accordingly. And
Yes.
what are you choosing that is not choosing you?
Woo.
Are
oh,
you
that's a big
choosing what
one.
is choosing you? What are you choosing? What are the choices you're making? Because if you don't want something, you're making that choice, then that's exactly what's going to happen in your environment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are you choosing?
Sometimes I had a thought.
Go
I
ahead.
know a lot of people are like, I don't want this, but I don't know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Starting from the point of I don't want this is actually kind of pointing you towards where you want to go to.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's not,
Yes.
because a lot of people are always confused and they're like, well, I don't know what I want.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is I want this to stop hurting. I want that to stop happening. I want this to X, Y, Z, whatever, fill in the
Mm-hmm.
blank. If you're kind of in that space, you can say, I want to, you know, do X, Y, Z.
Mm-hmm.
That's so huge when you're totally on focus and point.
Right.
But sometimes you're not there. Sometimes you just want it to stop.
Stop.
It's like, oh God, please make this stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that being the case when, there was a piece of running away, like people find when they're running away by doing drugs or working too hard or compulsively shopping or drinking or whatever these pieces are, and they're like it's masking all of
Yeah.
that
Just masking.
that stuff that you don't know you don't want in your life anymore.
Mm-hmm.
True, true, true,
That
true.
that is so true. That is why
So
it
true.
so
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 true.
that is why you came to that piece, Christine, because when you know what you don't want,
Hmm.
you have a level of clarity to separate. Okay, but what do you really want? What do you want? Because at least you can separate. I know that I don't want that, or
Hmm.
that is not going to work for me. Then you can move to the next and see what is it going to work for me. What is it going to enhance my life? What is it my next step the moves that I should make that's going to help me
Right.
to advance forward? So those are so super important. But that is why also mindset is very important, because when we can have a growth mindset, then we can look at all other options. But when we have a fixed mindset and you say, this is the way it is, this is all it's going to be, this is who I am, and you're not allowing yourself or opening yourself up where you talk about it, the endless possibilities, you're not opening up yourself up to new things. You're not learning any new skills.
Hmm.
You're not letting nothing new in. So you're stuck because you're not allowing yourself to evolve. You're holding yourself back. So, as we
Yeah.
are talking about gratitude and resilience, and we are in the month of October, closing out and moving into the remaining weeks to conclude 2025. Look at yourself. Are you moving with intention?
Yeah.
Do you have one word that you want to close out with? Name it. Name that one word because you're moving with intentions now. You're rooted in self love. You've done the work. You move through healing. And I like when you spoke about when healing, you said sometime because healing and the trauma, it's a wound. And as you start to do the work, it's going to hurt because you're working on it. You're getting rid of things that held you back or hold you down or hurt. But you're moving through a cleansing period where you're moving as if you're looking at a wound of itself, you got to move away all the debris. You got to cut away all the necrosis.
Yeah.
And you're cleaning. And as you clean that wound with gentleness and love and care, right? You're reminding yourself of who you are. You're now knowing that what do I want? I know what I don't want. I know what is going to make it work for me. Because then you start to shape a new mindset. You're moving with a level of clarity. You're moving with new intentions. Your perspective become different. You got greater insights because you're rising up to something new, new beginning. You're stepping higher. And now you're expanding your toolkit because you're drawing from all those experiences that you learned from in the past.
Yep.
And then you know that my experience or what happened in the past does not define who I am. I'm better. I'm rising higher. I'm rooted with self love. I'm showing myself love and compassion because I know who I am. What happened to me then does not define who I am now because I've grown. I'm moving out from comfort zone. because I'm stepping higher. I've got all the tools, I've got all the experiences, and I'm reshaping and rewriting my own narrative now because I know who I am and I'm stepping higher so that I can achieve everything and live the best version of yourself. Lady K?
You know, this is such a beautiful conversation. I am just enjoying these comments.
Yeah,
I'm so much enjoying these comments because it's bringing out the essence of individuals.
exactly.
You
Yeah,
know, this conversation is sparking things within,
of course.
you know,
It is igniting.
right? It's bringing things to the surface because when, like Will would say, we're talking to the subconscious mind,
Hi,
you
well.
know, he would say we're talking to the
Yeah.
subconscious mind, because the thing is that as we grow and as we come to that place of self awareness,
Hmm.
we are able to see things so different. But as Lady J and Christine said, we have to allow ourselves to come to this place because many
Thank
times
you. Thank you.
because many times we're not giving ourselves permission.
Hmm.
We're not giving ourselves that permission to come to that place. That is why I was talking about forgiveness. Forgive
Hmm.
yourself,
Right.
and
Yeah.
come to that place and find a modality that is going to keep you grounded, centered, and balanced.
Steadiness.
Find that
Yeah.
modality.
Hmm.
And as Dr. Jonas would say, stop drifting and start shifting.
Right. Right. Right.
Find
Right.
that modality. When you wake up in the morning, take some time for yourself.
Hmm.
Yes.
Take some time for yourself. Have a morning routine,
Hmm.
whether it's prayers or meditation or yoga, whatever is it, whatever suits you, whatever is working for you. Find that morning routine so it could ground you. So when you step out into the world, you can step out and you could be authentic. You can step out and you can understand the next person that you're dealing with in front of you. Because when people project things on us, it
Right.
has nothing to do with us unless you're still not healed.
True.
Hmm.
When somebody's projecting something on you, and once you get offended about it, therefore you're not healed. It's a part of you that still needs to be healed.
Hmm.
If
Right.
not, if you're healed, you will respond differently and you would
Hmm.
understand the person who is making that projection. It's all about them. It has nothing to do with you. That
Yep.
is why grounding yourself each day, it is super important before you go out into the world.
You read
Find
what
the
Charlie's
time.
saying?
Charlie said we brought down his blood pressure.
It's breath work. One of the things that I found as a tool for myself, especially the mornings, is if you
Thank you,
get up
Charlie.
like a
Thank you.
half an hour early, get up half an hour early, sacrifice,
Yes.
go to bed a half an hour early, get up a half an hour early before anybody gets up, before you're rushed, before your day. Plan your night before, put your clothes out, do whatever you need to do, but get up in the morning, and that's when you put your best foot
Hmm.
forward for healing, is just doing the work that when it's still quiet, when nobody's around, it
Yes.
is so positive. I'm telling you, that
Yes.
has been the greatest change in my life this year, is to put that first. I get up at 5, I clean my kitchen, I make myself a cup of coffee, I sit down and do my breath work, I listen to a video, I read this wonderful book, Gene Keys. How's that? This is not saying it's my Bible because I'm not being sacrilegious, but I read what the Gene Key of the week is, and I
Yes.
get some information and say, oh, okay, how am I
Mhm.
showing up with this? I do something called pause and contemplation.
Yes.
That two tools, pause every time you stop your car. If you are at a stoplight, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Just be present. Contemplate being present. And that's when you can put in gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful that I have a car. I'm grateful I'm sitting here. I'm grateful I'm breathing. Put whatever it is, but just 3 deep cleansing breaths. And
Yes.
then go about your day. And then do it again. Pause on your lunch break. Go take a walk. Be in nature. There are so many amazing tools we can have access to, but it's like it has to work for you and it has to be consistent. You can't just try one tool and say, oh, I'm going to do this again next month or next year.
Mhm.
It's every single day because that's the reps that make your results. You don't go to the gym once and lose 50 pounds and become a bodybuilder. You go every single day. That's the goal. That's what the gratitude is because then the change happens. And that's beautiful. And you ladies are bringing it back. You are bringing it. You are bringing blood pressure down. That is amazing.
Christine, the beautiful thing is that when we come into this space, the energy is so great, because it's pure intention.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's a pure intention. And we come here to be of service to humanity.
Yep.
And because of that, the energy flows. It
Mhm.
flows. And as it flows, it helps someone out there who is looking for answers with their lives.
Yeah.
And
Perfect.
as you rightfully said just now, we are closing out this year, and we really need to sit, pause, and look at ourselves, see where we are heading. We are going into start another 365 days of our lives.
Mhm.
365 days. What are you going to do with that 365 days? What are some
Can
of
I
the
put
things
it?
you're going to do?
Can I
Go
put it
ahead,
into
Christine.
a different perspective? The lifespan, the average lifespan is 76 years, I believe. So, whatever age you are today, 365 days for a year, figure out what that would be at 76 minus whatever your age is.
Hmm.
And think about that. That is the potential of how many days you have left on this planet.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you have an average life, what are you going to do with
Mhm.
every one of those days?
So true. So true. That is so true, Christine. And we go about each day and not even reflecting on how we are living.
Hmm.
Each morning we wake up, we're not even grateful for the breath
Yep.
that we wake up and we get a chance to live another day. you know we are not taking the
Thank you.
time to acknowledge. We're not taking the time to acknowledge our lives, and we should acknowledge where we are heading.
Hmm.
And again, we are telling you today that you have a choice, and the choice is yours.
Yep.
So if you want to stay in that fixed mindset and you don't want to go over to that growth mindset, you cannot blame anyone but yourself, because you have that choice. You have that choice to shift that needle. Whatever experiences you're going through at this point in time, you signed up for it. It's part of your evolution. Everyone you see sitting on this panel here, we went through our own struggles. We went through our own situations. We are not talking because we want to talk. We are talking from our experiences. And we are here to help you as an individual so you can help yourself. It's all about self-help. It is we is self-help. You got to help yourself. If you know you can't do it, get yourself a coach. Grab yourself a coach. Many times we are venturing out and we are buying these expensive stuff and forgetting about ourselves. We are only decorating the outside. What's going on in the inside? What's going on in here? You're going to buy a designer bag today and tomorrow you're unhappy because you're not looking to see what's happening on the inside. You come first. And in order for us to evolve, in order for us to grow, we have to go inward. We have to take the time and, as Christine said, be consistent with what we are doing. Because many times we want to do something today and we want the results tomorrow. It's not an Amazon package delivery system. It's not an Amazon package delivery system. You have to start today and you have to be consistent, because when you be consistent, you're building up that resiliency. When you're being consistent, you are able to understand the journey that you're taking, the journey that you're walking. You're able to understand that journey, because many times we want to get over to the other side, but are you ready to go over there? Do you have the capacity when you go over to that other side? We desire so many things in our lives, but we have to build ourselves first. And always remember, the experiences that you're going through, that's the foundation you're standing on. Mm-hmm. All those pillars, all those experiences are pillars that is building you up for where you're going. And when you go through these experiences, you will never be the same, because you grow, you evolve. You'll never be the same person. So we have to look at ourselves and be grateful for what we are going through at this point in time, because it's pillars we are building to take us over to write the next chapter of our lives. Tom?
I'm just here lurking, but yeah, most of my life, I just want to share that most of my life I'm lucky to have one or two friends at a time, and it's been that way since childhood. I'm on the spectrum, but
you're not on any spectrum, Tom. You're not on any spectrum.
Maybe not anymore. I don't know.
Stop claiming things. Stop claiming things.
Okay. But anyway.
Don't make me spank you.
Okay. Yeah. I have a history with her over more than a few lifetimes. Anyway, I got to meet these ladies, Karen and Joan, last year in May, and it was just a beautiful experience. And a few other people like Lydia and stuff, that are still in my life. And I'm just so grateful how full my life is with people now. And through the miracle of the internet, I'm 74. I can't imagine, like Christine and I get together with a group a couple times a week. It's based out of India. And there are people in India. There are expats living in London. There are a professor from Turkey. I mean, my God, all over the world, we've got these people in our lives. An expat, people in South Africa. I mean, of every description you can possibly imagine. So here are these souls, and we're meeting almost every week. And I just can't imagine that we're able to do this. And just the sacred joy of it. It's like we're creating our own tribe, they call it tribe, call it whatever you want. And I've heard Karen refer to it as a gathering of souls during this special time. And I'd like to thank you three ladies for being here with me.
Thank you,
Don't
Tony.
forget the
Thank you.
spanking.
You've done worse.
This was such a great discussion.
Yeah, it was.
Thank
It
you.
was. We are
Thank
bringing
you.
down blood
Thank you.
pressures.
We're doing medical miracles here, ladies. How amazing. I think Karen really hit on the most important part. It's like, if you don't know how to do it yourself, do it through a coach. Find an accountability partner. Find somebody who will hold you responsible. Because you know what? We're really good at living in our own bullshit a lot of the time.
True.
We
True.
do not see our own. We work on it with a third person. It is so much easier. Like that second party, that's somebody who's outside who says, oh, no, 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 no. This, find a coach, find a trainer, find somebody, find the thing you want to improve, get a person who is 2 steps ahead of you or even a step ahead of you, and you will get so much further. Your results will be so much faster. There is going to be a place for you. There is a coach for you out there. There is a methodology out there for you. It doesn't matter. There's a book out there. If you don't find the book you're looking for in a library or a bookstore, it means that you're supposed to write the damn book.
Absolutely.
That's the end of the story. Write your book. I mean, that's just facts. That's life. You're here to write something amazing. Do the symphony, run the marathon, lose the 100 pounds, do whatever the hell is for you. And it's all trapped inside of you. 2026, liberate it. What's going to make you be the best version of you? Do a life edit between now and the end of the year. Put it on the plate. And instead of 24, just do 24 months. Screw it. 12 months, too hard. You can't get those results. Do it for 2 years. Nobody's telling you have to do it for a year. That's my advice.
True.
What the hell? Nobody gave you a book and said this is the only thing you must do. It's like this is free flow, baby. This is result free flow. We're just going to give you the magic wand. You create your magic. Find a coach. That's what it comes down to. Sometimes you just need somebody who's going to be that step. And I will get off my soapbox now.
How can someone get in contact with you, Christine?
Right now, the easiest way is through Facebook, but I am in the process of revamping my whole socials. So if you look for my name, Christine Vilmur Cavaliero, that's me. LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, I still think I'm kitchen witch, to tell you the truth, but I'm out on all the socials. You will see a completely different message because I'm going to be focused on gene keys, bringing gene keys and human design to the masses, because I think everybody should know their design. I think that is super, super important. You got to know what the 206 bones in your body are, and human design is the covering that covers the twos.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to, I shared this to Mom.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
I shared this.
Oh, Mind Over Matter is my group.
Yeah, I snuck it in, so you'll have to approve it.
I'll have to approve that. Mind over matter is my group. Karen's fabulous. She posts in there. She keeps those guys motivated. We're small and mighty, 160 people, but I'm hoping it'll grow and it's
It
going to
will.
change. The name will change.
It will.
Just to give you guys a heads up, the name is going to change next year. I haven't come to get something completely set in stone. I'm still toying around with that, but it's we're going to follow human design. We're going to follow the Happiness Project, which is methodology and bones we followed this year, and we're going to figure out what's next. So, ladies, this has been an amazing journey with you. 2 hours of this has been amazing. So, and just to let you know, my earbud just died. So it's like, you're done. Shut up.
Lady J.
Take us out.
Thank you. This has been a fulfilling 2 hours.
Yes.
Very fulfilling. You nourish us. You nurtured us. You help us to. You inspired us. Greater insight, new perspectives. Help us to stop, pause, look where we are in this moment. And what are we going to do? That next step will define how we move forward. That next step will define how we move forward, how we close strong, and how we launch into 2026. That's what you've done. It was a defining moment because you help us to stop, look at ourselves. Where are we at this moment? What are some of the things that we're going to do starting from now, tomorrow, starting the new week to conclude 2025? And what are some of the things that we want to introduce in ourselves, in our lives for 2026? What do we want it to look like? Are we comfortable where we are? Are we going to stay in that comfort zone? Are we going to stay being complacent? Or we are going to say, no, this is the moment, because as Dr. Jonas always says to us, when your value is clear, your decision is easy. So you get to decide. You're watching us live, you're catching us on the replay. You get to decide, how do you want to close? You get to decide what you're choosing in this moment. You get to decide, am I choosing what is not choosing me? You get to decide, am I going to forgive and let go? You get to decide what my next move is going to be. You get to decide, who do I want to become? You get to decide, how do I want to evolve? You get to decide what your legacy will be.
Yes.
You get to decide all of that. You're here, you're breathing, you're listening. You get to decide those, you get to make those choices. And how do you want to move forward? Root yourself in self-love. Be rooted in self-love. Show yourself grace and love and compassion. Yes, a lot might have happened in the months prior. But what are you deciding now in this moment? Because you get to decide that. And what do you want to move forward and end strong? And what do you want it to look like? Write it out. As we all talk about tonight, that there is power in writing. Write it out. What do I want the remaining weeks to look like for me? Not anybody else, for you. Because you get to decide that. Write it out. Start from the end. And then when you write, just don't write because you want to write. Write it with emotions. Feel what it looks like for whatever it is that you're writing. What would it feel like for you to accomplish all those things that you're writing?
Mm-hmm.
Feel that. Because you get to decide that. And then you can celebrate on the 31st. And you can tick those boxes off. And where you didn't get to take off, you can take it over to 26.
Absolutely.
But when you're taking it over to 26, you're taking it over stronger.
True.
When you're taking it over to 26, you're moving with a new vision.
Mm-hmm.
You have a level of clarity. You're setting a new blueprint. How do I want my life to be? What do I want to look like? Because I'm giving gratitude and I'm embracing resilience because I'm stronger now. I've dealt with all the healing. As Christine said, as the wound, as you clean those wounds, it's gonna hurt. But you know you're doing the work because it's for you. And you get to decide that. Because you're special. You are amazing. You are unique. And we're not saying that. You're born and you came here with a gift or gifts. Embody that. Embody who you are. Believe in yourself. Because you are strong. Tap into your inner self, your inner being. Pause. Listen for those words and fortify yourself on a daily basis so that you can stay strong. Nourish and nurture yourself for the right kind of food. Take care of your microbiome so your gut health can be right. You're not moving through life foggy and fatigued because you're strong. You're making great choices and practice self-care. Self-care is intentional because you want to take good care of yourself. So when you show up with your all. You show up with everything. You're empowered. You're strong. Because when you enter in a room, you come with all your power. You're strong. You're healthy. I've done the work. I've practiced self care. I have a level of clarity, and I've already celebrated who I am because I'm rooted in self love. And so when I come, I give love, and I give love authentically because it can be felt. When I walk into the room, the energy changes because I'm coming with love and
Mm-hmm.
I'm inspiring others. I'm bringing my light. Are you bringing your light to every space you move into?
True.
Are you raising the level of vibration when you enter into space? What kind of level of exchange when you're in a conversation or in a group setting? Are you inspiring? Are you motivating? Are you bringing a level of negativity? Are
True.
you bringing positivity where you can uplift? If when people leave that conversation or they leave that room, they're inspired. They're inspired to take action in their own lives so that they can live the best life they deserve. What are you doing today?
Can
You got
I
a chance to choose.
Tom
can I
want to
bring
break
And
up
in.
choose wisely.
can I talk about one of my great successes for
Go.
2025?
Let's celebrate
Absolutely.
you.
Take the
Yeah,
Let's
floor.
celebrate you.
yeah. So Karen came on one time and had just washed her hair, right? And I was like, "Oh my God, that's gorgeous." So that's my great success of 2025.
Good job. Good job. Good job.
Tom, you're funny. But I'm gonna give you a funny now, a funny one now. I just want to thank my husband for always supporting me, Mr. Twinkle.
Yeah,
Tom gave him
and I
that
came
name.
up with that. Yeah, I came up with that name. What last year? Yeah, Mr. Twinkle. Yeah,
Yeah. And
he
and
does.
but he is truly an amazing person.
Oh yeah,
Let's celebrate him too. Let's give him a
Yes.
hand
yeah.
Oh
a
my
hand
goodness.
applause
He
because
Oh yeah,
supports
he's
Celebrate
me.
truly an
everybody
amazing
who's in your
person.
life.
yeah.
Celebrate them all. They're there for a reason.
Yes.
He took me
Yes.
Yes.
walking through New York, and it was just a great experience, man. Your Danny's just yeah.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah. Yeah.
see
Yeah.
why he ended up with you.
Right. He made a good choice. Remember, we were talking, are you choosing who's choosing you? He's a great person. He's my brother-in-law. I call him brother. He's just the
Yeah,
best thing ever happened. So both parties are so much in love, and
yeah, I
it's
know.
just good. Let's celebrate love. Let's
Yes.
You
Yes.
celebrate
bet.
love.
Yes.
Let's
Thank you.
celebrate love.
You bet.
I love you both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
say
love
Yes.
say
you
hi to
too.
Mr. Twinkle for me.
Mr. Twinkle.
Mr. Twinkle.
Mr.
Okay.
Twinkle. It was
Yeah,
a true joy and a true honor to be here this evening,
it
because
was.
it's a
It is.
blessing when we can share and
Mm-hmm.
we can able to enrich other lives, and it helps someone to sit back and really evaluate where they're going
Right.
and how they can really make these small changes in their lives as they are stepping out of 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Christine, you really nailed it this evening. You nailed it. You know, you help us to understand so much
Yeah.
about ourselves. You help us to understand that we have a choice and we can do it.
Yep. Long
And
and winding road to get to where we needed to go tonight.
absolutely, we can do it. And it's a self-help project. And if you
Mm-hmm.
can't do it by yourself, reach out and grab a coach.
Yep.
Grab a coach that can help you to really evolve, because many times we're sitting there and we're wondering, how can we do this? I want to evolve, I want to grow, I want to expand, I want to achieve certain things in my life, but you realize that you can't do it. Reach out and grab yourself someone who can hold you accountable, as Christine said, hold you accountable for your next steps and next phase in your life. And to the audience, we just want to thank you so
Oh, let's
much.
give them a applause
You
here
know,
because
we want
they
to
were
thank you
so
so
good,
much.
so good,
We,
so
we
good.
are bringing down blood pressures now. So, therefore,
Thank you all.
once you
Mm-hmm.
come into this space, you will experience something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You will experience
Mm-hmm.
something, because in this space here is a space for transformation,
Mm-hmm.
it's a space for empowerment. Is a space to help you to have the adequate tools in your toolkit so you can move forward with your life. And we are so grateful for all your beautiful
Yeah,
comments.
thank you.
We
Thank you.
acknowledge each and every one of you that was here
Thank
this
you.
evening.
Thank
We
you.
thank you so much, the people on IG. We thank you so much, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We thank each
Thank
and
you.
every
Thank
one
you.
of you so
Yeah.
much, you
Thank
know.
you guys so much.
Yeah, because you've supported us on this
Blessings.
journey. Next year is going to
Yeah.
be 4 years for Soul Light and Body.
Yeah.
4 years for Soul Light and Body. And when Joan, Lady J, myself, and Tommy Thompson started this journey, we really didn't know where it was heading. We had no clue, we had no idea. But as I said before, we set an intention that we want to help humanity. And that is what we are
That's
doing.
all it needs.
We're here to help humanity. And as our friend Terence would say, we serve you a buffet style. You take
Yeah.
what you need
Hi,
and
Terrence.
you could feed someone else what you
Dr.
don't
T.
need, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
don't forget to subscribe to Soul Light and Body so we can continue to build and we can continue to help more people as we move along life's journey. Again, we just want to thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
being
Thank
a
you.
part of this space. Christine, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
I really want to leave a question with you before we go. How do you want to express gratitude more intentionally moving forward in 2026?
Good one.
How do you want to express gratitude more intentionally moving forward into 2026? Just know that you're special. Just know that you're enough. Just know that you could dismantle those self limiting beliefs. Just know that you can show up in the world and you could be authentic. All of these things are within you because you have the resilience within you. Be grateful for every day that you live. Be grateful for the breath that you breathe. Every morning you wake up, have a morning ritual. Your prayers, your meditation, your yoga, whatever it is, find that time to fill yourself up before you go out there. We are pouring every day into people. You got to pour back in yourself. You got to find that time to pour back into you because you need it. You need to fuel yourself. You need to fuel yourself. Someone is asking for the YouTube URL link. Yes, You have to pour back into you. Thanks for asking for the link. I'm going to
Yeah,
put the
thank
link.
you.
I'm going to put the link in on LinkedIn so you can get the link. And we are so grateful. We are so, so grateful. And as the week's gonna wind down, there are gonna be some really great topics we're gonna be touching. We're gonna have more panel discussions. We're gonna bring on some previous guests for them to share about their journey for this year. So many things that are coming up. So stay tuned. That is why you gotta subscribe to Soul Light and
Yeah,
Body.
yeah,
That you will never miss none of these episodes because these episodes is very empowering. It's
Mhm.
enriching and to help you as an individual to move forward with your life. We want to wish you a fabulous week. Whatever you do, just be grateful.
yeah,
Just be
yeah.
grateful
Just be grateful.
and know that resilience is within you. That's
And
one of your superpower, resilience.
and I
It
also want to
is.
say, don't think about it. Don't look at a fall. Don't look at a fall. You might fall down today, but remember, it's the rise that follow after.
Absolutely.
There is your resilience right
Yes.
there. I
Thank you,
just want to
Lady
say
J.
that. You're
Thank
very
you.
welcome.
Christine, thank you.
Mhm.
Tom, thank you.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
you
you. Thank
guys
you.
so much.
Love
Thank
you.
you. Have a good week. Bye bye.
Bye.